Hi, I'm Jake. This is my design vlog for Jadepunk. This is my second design vlog, so just checking in with everybody. And I sent off my first draft of the GM section, which I got some feedback from Ryan, so I'm going to be changing a few things up there. But basically that looks to be good, so I'm going to be finishing that up sometime before next week. My goal again with that is to give specific advice rather than system agnostic advice, which is I may not have been as clear on in my last vlog. I find system agnostic advice to be somewhat, that fan is bugging, to be somewhat problematic in the sense that it doesn't help as often as it should. And it generally conveys the idea of role-playing without actually conveying the procedures to running a game. And so my GM section is, again, fingers crossed, is going to be a good example of procedural. I'm heavily influenced by mouse guard with the player's turn and the GM's turn and that sort of thing, as well as Apocalypse Worlds and the Apocalypse Engine's idea of GM moves, which are incredibly new GM friendly because it actually tells you how to do it rather than giving you generic advice. It tells you this is how you run Apocalypse World, this is how you run Mouse Guard, not this is how you run an RPG, because RPGs can be anything. They can be, heck, Cosmic Patrol is an RPG and it doesn't even have a GM, so the GM section there is perfect because it doesn't exist really. But then you cover the gamut from D&D to the frou-freest of Froofy, or what is it, Jeep Corps, the Swedish LARP scene, and they all work completely different, yet somehow they all kind of fit within the bailiwick of a role-playing game. So that's where we're at. Things are moving right along with the GM section, so I'm excited. We're over halfway funded. That is awesome. Sorry for all you British people, I didn't mean that offensively. In America, it means, anyway, you know what it means. V for victory, everybody. That's kind of where I'm at. I also today saw the proofs for the playmat, and it is impressive. I am actually very excited about it. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. So, like, you don't have scale. I'm 19 feet tall. I don't know. No, so you've got, but it's big. But it's not so big that it's awkward. It's a little bit smaller than your average kitchen table. So, basically, lay it down, flip it. It's easy to manipulate. The material looks nice. Overall, everything came out really well. So, and Ryan should have something up in the next update about that. So, if you guys were waiting on it to see if it was any good, it's great. In fact, I think we're getting a better deal on it than we should. But basically we've allocated the money. We've got it all set aside. It's good. They're really beautiful, and again, our goal here was, unlike my goal with the GM section, was to actually make a more generic Fate playmat, in the sense of, like, it has the aesthetic of Jadepunk, the RPG, but it basically is just information from Fate Core, so you can use it for your other Fate Core games. And that was our idea from the start, was like, as a GM, I often was like, I wish I had something standardized, something I could use, and now hopefully well, not hopefully, we do. I've seen it. We do have it, so that's cool. We've gotten a lot of feedback on the setting. Ryan and I have been talking back and forth. Seems like forever. It's pretty much constantly on my mind. We've been getting feedback actually on the setting since before the setting was even announced. And so we've made some big changes to the setting. Namely, we're keeping that the city was conquered by one force, but there was this massive war, and that government, the Steel Empire, conquered pretty much the whole world. And only recently was the leader of that government deposed, and so now there are civil wars in every former nation, and so they're all kind of all hands on deck trying to reestablish borders and do all of that while still trying to control Kaosao City, because it is the richest source of jade in the world, and so whoever controls that kind of controls the world. But they all kind of have to get their stuff together before they can try to conquer Kaosao City. So all the nations are kind of sitting there controlling districts of Kaosao City with small armies, just waiting for the right moment to strike and to take it. So basically, it's a city on the edge of like 6 precipices. Another big change. We're altering jade. We're making it more thematically. We're doing big things with jade. They're all, and that'll come out as we go along. But we're trying to make it more clear what jade is, what jade does, and we're also altering the amount of jade to make it fit more within the worldview of Kaosao City. Couple other things we're working on is city creation and adventure creation, specifically in regards to the sample adventure. The sample adventure was us testing an idea that we had. The idea was we want to be able to make something like a Savage Worlds one-page adventure. However, that doesn't work for Fate. It just doesn't, and so we're going to be working on our adventure design. Our adventures are going to be a little bit bigger, but probably closer to the 15 to 20 page mark, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but somewhere in there for adventure design, because I think we're starting to really narrow down and nail down what we want to get out of a Kaosao City adventure and what we want to put into it. And so I'm still happy with the pre-gen adventure. I've run it several times. It works pretty well, but it doesn't do everything we wanted it to do, and we had to cut a lot of stuff for space. And so we'll be working on that, and so on and so forth. So that is it for today's vlog on how Jadepunk is coming, and or at least from my end. Ryan's doing a lot of stuff on his end, but he's the boss, and so he does a lot of crazy things. But yeah, so that's where I'm at today, and go ahead, if you haven't already, go ahead and check out Jadepunk on Kickstarter. And if you've already backed Jadepunk, awesome. The more backers we get, the better the chance that we'll get to do a Cortex Plus hack. Because again, these are backer-based expansions, backer-based rewards. So it's based on the number of backers, not the amount of money. We hit 300 backers, and we will be doing a Powered by Apocalypse hack of Cow City. We get X number more, depending on basically on how we're doing once we get the numbers. So basically, if we can back the... Now I'm just rambling. All right, if we back the Apocalypse Engine version, we will then know that there is enough interest to put down some hard numbers on the Cortex Plus version. So you don't have to back with a lot of money. A dollar puts you down as a backer, so then you're adding to the backer goals. So yeah, that's it for today. Check out Jadepunk. It's on Kickstarter now. We're doing good, but we can always do better.